Welcome, friends and Rotarians, to today's meeting of the Rotary Club of Tulsa. Our guest is here. It's going to be a fantastic presentation, but let's go ahead and get started today with invocation and pledge from Elaine Dishman, guest introductions from Barbara Kogerman, and new member introductions from past President Chuck Wilson.
Please bow your heads. This prayer is called Leading the Way. Lord, inspire us today with the qualities of good leadership. Give us insight to make wise decisions, integrity to face the truth, courage to make difficult choices, and compassion for the needs of others. Make us a model of justice and honor to the world, and let us never forget that our job is to serve both you and others. Amen. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to announce a wonderful array of guests today, and I'm going to announce your host and then the guest, and I'll ask you to stay standing until everyone's introduced, and stay standing so we can memorize your face, you know, that kind of thing. So we're happy to see Nick Nazarian again back, and he's a guest of Sheree Gardner. Oh, wait. I can't see. Oh, there, okay, there we go. Good. Stay up. And Cam Greer has brought Amanda Donner. Jesse Guardiola has brought Nick Kindled. Well, Brian Jackson has brought Bella Jackson, and he's one happy dad. Todd Wade has brought Autumn Wharton. Rob Walters has brought Richard Hart. Mehdi Kesri has brought Lorena Salsa. And Shannon Jean is here without a host, someone who wants to be her host. Just go ahead and stand up. And Mary Beth Sawyer has brought Joshua Stewart. And please give them all a round of applause. Thank you for being here. And please come back.
Well, it is a special pleasure to welcome back to our club Lindsay Patterson. Why is this so special? There are no less than 7 Rotarians who have come from the Patterson family. Rotarian, including her father, Ed, and her uncle, past President Sid Patterson.
Past president of this club.
Of this club, yes. Her great-uncle, Alfred Patterson, joined this club in the 1920s. When Lindsay first joined...
Wait, you missed.
Yeah,
and my great-uncle, what was his name? Parker. Started the Will Rogers Club.
That's right.
So there you go.
Is there anyone else that I...
My cousin, who is Russ Patterson, who's Sid's son, is the secretary of the club in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Wow. Well, I need to do a better research job. When Lindsay first joined Rotary in 2003, her father and her uncle were her sponsors. It just keeps getting special. After graduating from Edison in '69, she went to DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana. But after only 3 semesters, she returned to Tulsa and was married in 1971. In '88 and '89, Lindsay chaired the Junior League Task Force to support Tulsa Loves Children, and then she played a big role in the building of the house at 61st and Hudson that is known as Ronald McDonald House. After her kiddos went to school, so did Lindsay. Bachelor's degree, then her PhD, and her license to practice psychology and psychotherapy, and she then joined the staff at Laureate. She now lives in Montereau. Lindsay has 3 amazing children, 5 fabulous grandchildren, and 2 son-in-laws who compete to be the best son-in-law. Will you please join me in welcoming back to Rotary, Lindsay? We're so glad to have you.
A press release was recently issued to highlight our club's participation in Tulsa Area United Way's Day of Caring event last Friday. Our members joined more than 5,300 volunteers who engaged in 214 service projects at local nonprofit agencies. Our club's part was assisting at the Iron Gate Grocery Pantry. Iron Gate's mission is simple. They feed the hungry and the homeless. They do so every single day. They feed people in 3 different ways: through their kitchen, through a grocery pantry, and through kids' pack pantries. Our volunteers helped with activities such as assisting guests locate and choose items from the pantry and restocking. Pictures are on the screen of our group and the hard work they did. Thank you to all of you who represented service above self at such an important event. Brenda Melancon was quoted in our press release and sums it up perfectly. She said, "This is yet another opportunity for the Rotary Club of Tulsa to pour back into the community that has poured back into us." So thank you, everyone who participated in that event on our behalf. Tomorrow will be our social event at SOMA, Tulsa. It'll be a happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. I inadvertently forgot to mention this last week, and I feel bad about it. So if people will sign up on your link today, you'll save me a lot of grief. So please join us for this meeting. For our new members, social events that we put on and that our committee puts on are a great way to get to meet your fellow Rotarians in a smaller and more social environment. I personally have attended as many as I've been able to make, and they are definitely ones you want to make, and they are, again, ways to meet and to get to know your fellow Rotarians in a smaller and more relaxed setting. We recently heard about SOMA. It is at the top, it's the rooftop of the Brute Hotel at 21st and Boulder. The views there are spectacular, so please come. The drinks are even better, and the friendships that we made there will be the best thing of the evening. So please sign up through the link, bring your friends, potential future Rotarians, join us, and it will be a fantastic time. The Golden Circle Gala is coming up, and you'll hear a little bit more about that towards the end of our meeting. It's less than a month away on Friday, October 11th. Sheree and her team are working incredibly hard, and things are coming together nicely. I saw a report that we have secured some very large and impressive sponsorships. Tables are filling up, and to be as successful as possible, we want to see both Rotarians and non-Rotarians, or who Barney would call prospective Rotarians, to please join us for that evening. It's going to be a night to remember, and for clarity, there are a few different ways to purchase tickets. For sponsorships, there is a QR code that you can find on the table outside, or you can call or email Tina or Tommy Lynn at the office. For individual tickets, we have set up a link on Eventbrite. It is the most convenient way, especially for guests of Rotarians, to buy tickets, so please encourage your friends and family to do so. You can also purchase tickets right outside the door today using the Square app, which will save you essentially what would be the Eventbrite service charge. You can also pay by check by contacting Tina and or Tommy Lynn at the office. Again, you'll hear more about this in a few minutes, but please join us. It is going to be a night to remember. And now, our Rotarian of the day is Mary Beth Sawyer. She was born in Tulsa and holds a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Sports Science and an MBA in Healthcare Delivery Sciences from the University of Tulsa. She also recently earned a doctorate of healthcare administration at Oklahoma State. During her time in Rotary, Mary Beth has served several of our committees, including Golden Circle Gala, Camp Enterprise, Programs, Young Professionals, and International Youth Exchange. Mary Beth is currently working as an adjunct professor of kinesiology, and health sciences at the University of Tulsa. She also recently started a health education podcast with the goal of making healthcare and health knowledge entertaining and more accessible to everyone. Please welcome our Rotarian of the Day, Mary Beth Sawyer.
So I have a lot in common with our guest speaker today. We both grew up in Tulsa, we both have a background in theater, and we both decided to attend the University of Tulsa for our undergraduate degrees. But unlike Corey, I don't have a background that includes a military service record or that of a professional athlete. But I did decide to work with the University of Tulsa football team during my undergraduate time. And it was there that I first met Corey and got to know him. It was there that I saw that he never has an unkind word to say. He always has a smile to share. And most importantly, he's always there to stand up and be a strong pillar for his friends and teammates. Sorry. It is my honor to call him a friend and now a colleague as we've both returned to the university in efforts to lift up not only the university, but also the city of Tulsa. Please put your hands together for Corey Taylor.
Awesome. All right. Hello. How's everyone doing? Doing good. Mary Beth, thank you so much for inviting me, for the opportunity to come out and speak. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, so hello again. Anytime I get the chance to talk about what it is that we're doing at the Dome, what it is that we're doing at the university, what it is that we are doing as a part of Tayburn Music, I'm super excited. And today I also have my business partner, Eric Sherburne, here with me. And as we talk a little bit about what it is that we are doing today, I think you'll see that we have a bold and audacious vision. And so I'm excited to bring you in on that. All right. So the way I usually start these types of things off where I'm going to talk, I try to break the ice a little bit. And oftentimes that's with a joke. And my joke today would have sounded something like, what do you get when you put a neurosurgeon and a football player together, a former pro athlete together? And I'm not going to ask you that necessarily. I wanted to get more to the point, ask you a slightly more direct question, which is when you look on your screens to your left and right, what is it that you see? What is it that you see? Now, obviously, it says at the top, the Dome by Tayburn Music, and that brings me to my first slide, my second slide. This is the Dome. And when I asked you earlier what it is that you get when you put a neurosurgeon and a former pro athlete together, I want you to know that that is a question that me and Eric we've both had to answer throughout this journey. And we're still discovering what that looks like because we believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg and we have really big plans for the Dome. Located at 924 South Boulder, we're right catty corner from you all where we're sitting in this very room. This is our vision, to bring in national and international acts to showcase music, comedy, and art, providing a stage for touring artists to perform and interact with their Tulsa fan base. Now, many times when we tell people about our vision, they have a little bit of pause. And some of you might be able to guess why that pause is, but I'll tell you that it's because we have in there, it says national and international acts. And you might say, well, this facility may not be big enough to host national or international acts. But when you put together a neurosurgeon, a former professional athlete, you get two people with bold and audacious vision. And so every time we were to start our research and looking at what are people who have similar venue capacities doing, who are known to be the best, they're doing this. They're bringing in national and international acts, and that's 100% what we intend to do. Now, moving on to the mission. Our mission at Tayburn Music is, as a local for-profit startup, we are going to provide a safe and welcoming and all-inclusive environment for creatives to develop, create, collaborate, and showcase their craft within the Tulsa community, with emphasis on supporting the underrepresented genres within our geographic region. This is the real reason why we exist, to support creatives within the community. And I'm excited as we get past this intro to share more with you about that today. Now, when we look at the competitive landscape, and many people, when we first started off on this bold and audacious journey, they say, man, do you really think Tulsa could support another music venue? And obviously, our answer has been yes. And if you look on the slide right now, you can kind of see where we fall. And these are capacities of other music venues within the Tulsa region. The specific audience that we hope to be able to cater to with the Dome, we found that the 1,250 cap space is really a sweet spot for us. And we're very excited about that when we look at a lot of the shows that are happening every single weekend. You know, it's hard to program a music venue every single weekend and get boatloads of people in, but that 1,250 number is really a sweet spot for us, so we're really excited about that. Now, a lot of people, they think that creating a music venue is all about the audience and their experience. But as a former artist myself who's gotten offered a record label deal, as a person who's been immersed into the arts my whole life, we found that it's really important for us also to prize the artist. And we wanted to make sure to have a tailored experience for them. And so when you come to the Dome, which I hope you all do get the chance to do one day, you'll see that our experience and the layout of the venue is set up so that the artists have complete maneuverability all throughout the venue to all the different touch points without having to exactly interact with the public. And that's one of the ways that we are separating ourselves in Tulsa's landscape. I like to think of the Dome as an intimate and cozy listening party for 1,200 people. Now, today, when we talk about music industry, when we talk about venues, sometimes when you go to a bigger venue, it's really easy to get lost in the crowd. It's really easy to feel just like another number. And what we plan on doing at the Dome is making sure that each and every single person in the audience understands that they are not just a valued customer, but also a valued fan, right? And that's the way that we're adding value to our artists who are going to be coming and spending some time with us. Another way in which we plan to continue to provide ease and service to artists is by providing a state-of-the-art recording studio. Many times, because of today's shifting landscape within the music industry, most touring artists, they have to actually record most of their music on their tour buses. And this isn't necessarily the easiest thing or the thing that artists necessarily want to do. And so we decided to provide a level of ease by allowing them a space within our facility that they can come and record and then be able to even further monetize the very thing that they've set out to do. Taking that a step further, we also have live streaming and video recording capabilities, right? I kind of spoke on it a second ago, but the music industry has shifted. You used to be able to sell a CD. You used to be able to sell a vinyl, and you would get cents on the dollar off of that. But now, because of the streaming model within the music industry, artists are forced to stay on the road, and we see their main sources of income being the monetization of their digital recordings as far as music, but also video. And so we plan to help them with that and create this one-stop shop environment for artists to really be able to thrive in. Beyond that, we are equipping it with the top-of-the-line audio, visual, and lighting equipment to make sure that they are having an amazing time and their fans are really able to receive what it is that they are doing. All right, some of the other highlights that I'd like to touch on and the ways that we are separating ourselves at the Dome. Again, catty corner from here, 924 South Boulder. We've got 2 full-service bars in the lobby. We got 2 limited service bars within the performance hall. And all of us, we've been to live sporting events, live experiences where we stand and we wait in line. But that's not exactly what we came there to do, right? We came to enjoy a show. And so we're hoping that by us doing this forward thinking and this planning, that we can help get people back to their show and keep them out of lines as much as possible. food trucks so that people can choose what it is that they want to eat, and we'll switch those up depending on events to kind of lean into whatever we are doing thematically. And then lastly, something I'm sure that we're all able to appreciate if you've been to any live concert experience or sporting event is the free on-site parking, right? On-site parking is great, and that's why one of the biggest reasons why we're excited to be located here in downtown. Now, I want to take you guys on kind of a tour really quick so that you can see for the people who haven't been in and who one day we hope to be able to get in. But this is the lobby, and as you can see, it kind of already has a regal presence about itself. It has a bold identity that has already been set. And is one of the reasons why when we first came to the Dome, before we had acquired it, that we fell in love with the property. Eric and I, we had looked all across the city for about a year, and we had seen all these other properties that we thought could really host our vision, but when we came to the Dome, it was a no-brainer, and this is part of the reason why. And so as you see it on the screen is really how it sits today. The only big difference that you'll eventually see when we are completely up and running is that the paint color has changed and we've added a little bit of lighting to it. But we think that keeping this exactly as it is a nice nod to its past and paying great homage to what it once was. Next, we have our first floor. So if you go into the Dome, it's kind of a split level facility. And our first floor is where we'll do our pre and post functioning activities. This is where you can come and hang out after the concert. And we're really excited about this spot. And if you really take a close look, there's a black trim. And behind that black trim, and there's kind of a glass see-through, that's where our recording studio will be situated. And it's something that we're really excited about because we know that artists will really prize this and be excited to spend some time with us here. Lastly, as far as taking you on this kind of tour, we have the venue, which was the sanctuary. And this is something we're really excited about in order to prepare for hosting artists of all different levels, national and international, then audiences, patrons from the city of Tulsa. What we did was we brought consultants in from all across the United States, and we had them tell us what it is that they would like to see, what would make this venue unique, not just for our city, but also on a national and regional level. And they talked to us about different paint colors, they talked to us about acoustics, they talked to us about audio, they talked to us about the visual elements and assets that could be found in this rendering right here. We're really excited about it. We've made sure that it has been positioned as a flexible venue so that it can host various different types of events, whether it be corporate, private, or live concerts. And we're really excited about that. And we've even had some people say weddings. So we're excited about having and hosting those as well. Our capacity will be from 880 to 1250. And then if you want to put a seating arrangement in there, it'll be about 500. So I hope that you guys all make it out to a show with us. Now, anytime you do anything worth doing, you're going to naturally incur a bunch of challenges. You're going to have roadblocks along the way. And I thought today maybe I'd share with you some of the few that we've had and then eventually also get to what we've been doing to overcome those challenges and then where we sit today. Some of the challenges we face is education surrounding the venue business model. All right, and if you don't know, no different than the BOK, no different than Kane's Ballroom, that's exactly how we plan to operate. Yes, we plan to enhance some of the different features that you might typically find within a venue, but education around this business model has been a lot of the challenge that we've faced with getting up and running, and then also that we're just a new business. And these are all things that are regular things for anyone trying to start a new business entity within Tulsa. How we've been overcoming this is we've been proving that we can do the work, right? We started off by programming live-scale concerts or large experiences at the University of Tulsa in our pregame concert series, and that's been really awesome. We had record-breaking attendance of over 16,000 people out there. We also helped program Tulsa Mayfest this year, where I was the chair of music and performing arts, which is a huge honor for me and an awesome opportunity to interact and rub shoulders with the artists within the Tulsa area. With doing that, last year we put over 90 artists on stages, and we programmed many stages at a very, very high level. And we're excited to be able to continue to do this work at the Dome. proving that we can do the work. What that also looks like right now in my position at the University of Tulsa, as a music industry professional in residence, one of the things that I've been doing is building out the music industry curriculum. And this facility, we hope, is not just a music venue, but also a center where people can come and learn. Creatives can come and learn how they might best monetize their craft and what it is that they are passionate about doing. And then lastly, we've gotten extremely creative as business owners, as executives, as business people here within the city. You may have had to have gotten creative. And we've been looking at different really interesting financing options as we've been getting our business up and running, whether it's using SSBCI funds from the government, using CPACE financing, because that's something that's very near and dear to our heart, which is being energy efficient. Those are some of the tools that we've been able to take good use of. Where we are today, obviously the dome is secured. We have that property secured. We've got a change of venue, variance through the city. We've got building permits and insurance, and I highlight demolition because earlier when I told you about the joke that I normally would have made to kind of break the ice in a talk, when I said what happens when you put a neurosurgeon, a former pro football player together, you have two people who are audacious. And so we had extensive demolition that needed to be done at the dome. And Eric and I, instead of going out and hiring big demolition teams, we decided to do it ourselves. So we spent 6 months doing rigging from the ceiling and doing all the demo ourselves. And if you guys have been obviously having your meetings in here, if you've ever driven by, you may have seen multiple dumpsters out in our parking lot. And if you drive by at certain times in the day, you might even see us hauling out wheelbarrows full of different materials from inside the building. And so that's what happens when you put together a former neurosurgeon and a former pro football player. All right. Now, I asked you earlier, what do you see when you look at the rendering that was up on the screen? And that was somewhat of a rhetorical question, but I hope it got you thinking. And obviously, this is now the Dome. We all know it as the Dome, formerly the First Church of Christ Scientists. But what I see when I look at this facility is an opportunity to bring people together from all across the city. You know, many times with me and Eric, when we were starting off, we would go out and we would have breakfast together. And people would see Eric and they'd be like, oh, hey, Eric, nice to see you. And they would see me and they were wondering what we were doing together. And vice versa. I'd see my friends or people I knew out in the city and they would say, oh, man, I saw you with a guy. What are you guys up to? What are you doing? And I think that the Dome is an amazing example of already bringing two people together. And I see it as an opportunity to do that on an even larger scale. People coming together and being united by music. People coming together and being united by art. And that's what we're super excited about. And is in large part the reason why we decided to create the Chroma Initiative, which is our nonprofit that we've just launched. The Chroma Initiative is a nonprofit committed to providing platform voice, education, and resources to creatives within the city of Tulsa. We think that this is an extremely important need within Tulsa. And we're already doing that work, and so we're excited to continue to carry that work out as we approach this upcoming year when we plan to really get not only the Dome, but the Chroma Initiative when we launched and make sure that its impact on the city of Tulsa is felt all around. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, I'm sure there are a few. And if I don't have the answer, I'm sure I do, but also my business partner Eric over there can talk as well. But thank you guys so much for having me. How do you do questions? Any questions? Oh, that is a great question. That's a tricky question. See, Eric and I started off on this journey 3 years ago. It took us a year to find the Dome. And if you would have asked us 2 years ago when we were opening, we would have told you within a year. And now I'm going to tell you again, within a year. That is the goal. Awesome. Any others? Oh, that is a great question and something that I definitely glazed over as I was talking. Eric and I actually met on the sidelines of a TU football game. He was a concussion specialist for the university. I played at TU, played football there. And I actually went to high school with Eric's oldest daughter, well, both of his daughters, but his oldest daughter, we were in the same class together in high school. And so when I got cut and released by the Browns after playing for the Chiefs and then the Browns, I saw Eric on the sideline. I came back to support our team, and he was like, man, I'm so bummed that you got cut. And I'm like, man, look, I'm excited because I'm going to go off and do this music thing. And I had already been doing a lot of great work in the industry, started off in college. And a week later, he had asked me to lunch, and he actually wanted to find a rehearsal space so that him and his band could work on some music. And I wanted to start a recording studio if I were to choose to come back to Tulsa. And so we planned on getting like 1,000 square foot facility. And now you see we're at the Dome. So again, bold and audacious. That's what happens when you put two of us together. Any others?
Corey, you talked a little bit about the business model. Talk to us and enlighten us as business people. How does it work? Is there a percentage of ticket sales, is it a flat fee, concessions? Give us some insight to how that does. And then number two, I don't think you'll be offending anyone here. Tell us more what you know, if anything, about the deal with Broken Arrow. And how will that change, if any, your plans?
Okay, yeah, so awesome. So when it comes to the business model around music venues, typically what you have is the venue able to hold on to a portion of the ticket sales. A lot of the revenue that is gotten through ticket sales goes back to the artist, but you have a portion of that, which usually turns out to be about 30%. And then where your margins are is in the alcohol sales and usually your food. So food and beverage is usually where you come out winning on. Now today there's a lot of really cool things and extra things that we can monetize on in the industry that has become a new reality since the pandemic, whether it's live streaming or really, live streaming is the biggest one, and social media is where we see other revenue opportunities. Now, when it comes to the development in Broken Arrow, I don't know too much about it. I've done some research, and I've talked to some of the people in charge over there. But what I can tell you, for us, it helps. It helps. We see a really unique opportunity here in town to take up the after-party market. So when people finish going to shows, it's like oftentimes, where do they go, right? You can go downtown, you might be able to go to a bar, but we wanted to be able to keep the party going. And so that is how we've been uniquely positioning ourselves within the market by building relationships, whether it be with the BOK Center or the Sunset Amphitheater, establishing those relationships so that you might not only see somebody at that venue, but even after down at the Dome.
And being a violinist, are you going to kind of cater to some of the school kids? Because there's a lot of orchestra that's been transferred over to hip hop,
Yep.
hard rock, all the pop rock.
Mhm.
Is that education something that you could look forward to have some of the orchestras or have some of that on how they can mesh with any kind of music?
100%. I think that's really important. I have a decent amount of friends, and my background in the music industry is as a producer and a songwriter. And so that's how I first cut my teeth in the industry, and then I became an artist. And I mentioned earlier I had gotten a record deal from that that I turned down to keep playing football. But yes, that's a huge element of which we hope to be able to educate people on. It's really, there's a few core ways to monetize your craft if you're an artist, especially a performing artist or if you're a musician. And so that type of education, and then also how to take that and maneuver into different genres and add value to different genres, is something that we'll definitely be teaching. I know for myself personally, as a person who produced R&B and pop or hip hop, I've always used string instruments. It's one of the signatures that I use to separate my sound. And so I like to employ musicians who play violin or any other type of string instrument, and we want to help be a connection point. One of the things I didn't mention earlier, when I first came back to Tulsa, my biggest question is, where do I go in the city to find other creatives who are doing work at the level that I am? a person who's worked with Grammy Award-winning artists, producers. I've been to all the top shows around the country. Like, where do I go to find people? And what we hope that the Dome becomes is a hub for creatives in the city, not only who have arisen, but who are also looking at how to be in a place where natural collisions happen so that you might be able to happen upon your next opportunity that can help your career go to the next level.
Talk about the potential economic impact of the Dome and also how fostering the creative economy benefits the city as a whole.
Yeah, I think the creative economy, that's a really good question. I think entertainment and music within a city is integral to the culture within the city. And as we look to attract new talent, one, I don't think we can ever have enough music venues. I think that that is such an important element of fostering culture within the city. And as far as economic impact, we have done a couple of those studies and analysis, and we see all the people who travel, and no different than the BLK for national and international acts, and how they conduct business within the city, whether it's them getting hotel rooms, rental cars, things like that. And we've seen that upwards of $3 million per year. So we're really excited about that and being able to play our role in bringing in multiple people from different regions of the country to Tulsa because of the acts that we are hosting within the Dome.
I have a number of questions, shocking. Tell a little bit how you got started at TU.
Okay.
I've heard some of the story with teammates and things. And you don't seem to be locked in on one genre. If you've gone into the TU games and listened to the pregame party, there have been different acts. How do you connect with that many genres?
Yep.
I think Saturday was a little country and western and
Kylie Morgan, yeah.
everything mixed in, which is a great asset. So how do you keep connected all those? And my last question is, there are a few other recording venues in town. So do you see those as competitors, or are you trying to work collaboratively with those groups? And it seems like you've got a lot of plates spinning.
Yep.
Successfully, how do you keep all those spinning?
Yeah, well, first, thank you for that question. I think collaboration is super important, and it's vital for any city that's really trying to grow. We don't have an ego about what it is that we are trying to do. We're happy to collaborate with everyone, and in fact, we do some of that on a ground level right now. How we stay connected with artists from different genres is we do the work, right? We go out to different cities, be it LA, New York, Atlanta, and we connect. Nashville, huge one as well. We connect with artist teams, their managers, their agents, to make sure that we're getting in front of them and we're promoting Tulsa as a city that's ready to host them and can help elevate their artists and get them to that next level. How I got to TU was first as an athlete and as a student. I did my undergrad there. I got my major in business, marketing, and management. And then how I got back to the university is when I finished playing professionally, I came back and I did some really great work in music, also in media, where I was creating commercials and media for ESPN and major sports platforms. I got a call from the provost and he asked, would you be willing to come and teach our students what it is that you know? And since then, I've been really fortunate to be able to build out the music industry curriculum, which will be a specialization under the ACE management track and the Kendall College of Arts and Science. So that, I hope I answered all those questions. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah. So we could be here all day if I told you all those, right? But I tell you what, I had this kind of quarrel with the first floor split level. Because when I walked in, even though I love the venue on the inside and I love the lobby and we've seen renderings of those, but the ceilings were so low. And I thought that that's just how they were. And it was one day we were moving some ceiling tiles and we realized that there was another ceiling that was above it. And then once we ripped down the drop ceiling, we also found there was another ceiling above it. And so it turns out that every time they did a remodel, they wouldn't rip out the old, they just put on top or put them below it. And so we removed 2 drop ceilings from the downstairs area and ended up getting about 5-6 more feet of extra clearance. And so that gripe had gone away, that pain point had been alleviated. But that's just one of the things that we found with this older building.
As a TU fan, I love to watch you as an athlete. Can you
Thank
share
you.
with us what you can draw from that to relate to what you're doing now?
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the most fundamental things is hard work and determination. You know, on the football field, that's what I really prided myself on. That was my identity, was being a hard worker. You know, I think especially when you're starting a business and how that translates, you know, I always said on the football field I was never the most talented, but my work ethic was undeniable. And that is the biggest thing that I found myself and also Eric being able to lean on in this process as we try and bring this vision to life and do something a little bit different than what may have traditionally been seen. So that's what I would say some of those experiences were transferred into. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Corey. I would have never imagined that I could say I have anything in common with a professional athlete or a neurosurgeon. But we share a love of music, and I really do think that's a universal language. So thank you, Corey. Thank you for everything you guys are doing. I cannot wait to visit the venue. A book recognizing today's program will be presented to our partner in education school, Celia Clinton Elementary. Today's book is The Green Piano. Upcoming programs, September 25th will be Nathaniel Harding, a managing partner of Cortado Ventures, an Oklahoma-based venture capital firm. October 2nd, Scott Klosowski, he's an author and will give us a great presentation. October 9th will be Ashley Webb. He is the beer meister and former board chair of Tulsa Oktoberfest, which, by the way, I was told today was recognized by USA Today as the best Oktoberfest festival in the country. Upcoming events, I'd mentioned SOMA. Please sign up so nobody gets mad at me for forgetting last week. And now a side mic from past President Tiffany.
You just thought you got rid of me, right? Yes. So I am going to do a little side mic about the Golden Circle Gala, as President Daniel mentioned, a little more information. So here are the facts. It is the Golden Circle Gala. It's our first year to do this, and it's going to be on October the 11th, 6 p.m. until whenever we kick you out. It will be at the Cedar Ridge Country Club, so a nice venue, of course. We want you to be there. We want you to bring your significant other, bring a friend, Rotarian, non-Rotarian. Just bring your most fun people, right? Come in and have a good time with us. And why should you come? You should come because we're, number one, going to raise money for our foundation, right? And we're going to do that, well, we'll just flat out take your money. So if you just want to give it with no strings attached, we're good with that. But also we're going to have a quick live auction with some pretty cool items. Those OSU fans in the room, an OSU experience unlike any other with President's Suite. You get to run down the tunnel with the players, all kinds of really good stuff. Also a dinner for 12 provided by Mehdi and his wonderful restaurants at your house, should you win that one. Or an Oaklawn weekend, and how fun would that be, hosted by Sheree and Lindy Gardner. There'll also be lots of silent auction items, very cool stuff. We went over the list last night, good stuff. You should come and spend time with your fellow Rotarians and friends, right? I mean, I'll be there, so I know you want to be there for that, right? Good food, good music, there'll be some dancing should you decide to partake in that. And then we also have a special treat. We have 3 folks coming in for some very short testimonials, but people from the community that have benefited from money from the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation over the years to come share with us the impact your generosity has on those folks and their organizations. So you don't want to miss that. Quick to clear this up in case you're wondering what to wear, clothing is required. No naked people allowed, okay? Because there might be a couple out here that might push that limit. So you know what? Wear what you're comfortable in. You know, think about a little pizzazz. But if you want to be in business casual, you want to be in cocktail, you want to be informal, Well, you are welcome. We want you to be comfortable as you can be, to have the most fun and write the biggest checks. So that's what you're to wear. And then just right quick, after the meeting today, because I know you're moved to, if you haven't already bought your ticket, Dylan, would you please stand up? Dylan Harden. There's more than one Dylan in the room. Dylan Harden. He will swipe your credit card. It'll take 30 seconds. It'll shoot you an email, and you will have tickets to the event, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
So you can tell this night is not about just dinner and drinks. It's really going to highlight what we as a club, who we are, what we do, and how we impact Tulsa. So please get your tickets, be there, and if you, I assume you can save some money by not buying a tuxedo. Donate, buy an auction item. Now it is Sarge time. Sarge Barker, come on down.
Thank you, thank you. Can we get the slides up there? There we go, perfect. All right, it's me, your host, Sarge Barker. It's good to be back. Now, Tiffany, you told us that you could wear anything you want to the gala. What about on top of your head? All right, good. That does help some of you in the room, so I just want to let you know that. All right, let's get started. All right, congratulations, anybody's guest. Joe Mathis and Todd Wade, are you here today? Todd's here. All right. Todd, hey, I just want to give a shout out to your store. What a cool place. If you've had a chance to go in, you should definitely check it out. It's at 2219 East 11th Street, now open at Noma, so right across over from the Mother Road Market. And hey-oh, oh, there I am too. I got some socks, and I saw one of our fellow Rotarians shopping there too. What a cool place. By the way, what I'm holding up there are Hot Stuff jalapeno socks. If you're wondering, am I bold enough to wear Hot Stuff socks? The answer is, do you know me? By the way, I did tell my wife that I bought those socks, and she said, oh, you must be pretty impressed with yourself. She said, more like mild sauce, but no, I'm just kidding. But by the way, happy birthday to Tommy Lynn and Mary Beth Sawyer. Anonymous donor gave two $50 fines. Happy birthday. Also, Hannibal Johnson, we have a fine, a $50 fine by Barney James. Hannibal recently spoke at Barney's church, and I just want to give a quick plug to his book, 10 Ways We Can Advance Social Justice Without destroying each other. And by the way, if you purchase the book, I'm pretty sure the author will be happy to sign it for you too. So, also, happy birthday to Tim Caldwell, a $100 fine. Tim, are you here today? All right. Happy birthday, Tim. And Matt Hancock, congratulations. Can you stand up? We'll just give you a shout out. He is the new director of the Tulsa County Parks Department, a fine paid by James and Karen. Matt, congratulations. We're very happy about your new position. We know that you probably went through a rigorous interview process, and you're going to be landing in the new position. Have you started yet? No, okay. I have been told to ask you one question, all right? Now, for 100 imaginary points, which of the following activities is not typically offered by Tulsa County Parks? Are you ready? Okay. Is it A, competitive squirrel watching? B, petting zoo for ants? C, goat yoga? I don't even want to know what that entails, Matt. Is it D, Sasquatch search parties? Or D, all of the above? What do you say, Matt?
I'm going to say it's not typically offered. I'm going to say E.
Not all of the above?
Could be, though.
It could be. All right, I'll have to cancel my Sasquatch search party registration then. But all right, and by the way, John Raines, are you here today? Is he here? John, all right, can you stand up for me, sir? I just want to say happy birthday. And also, he gave an additional $350 to sponsor a student for RILA. So please give it up for John. Uh-oh, and we also have an old-fashioned football rivalry, and to give a little bit of an explanation, I'm going to invite Tiffany Tennessee Tough Eggdorf to come up on stage.
Very good. So Eric Colin got to speak to Southside Rotary last week, and we just started this conversation about the upcoming game. He's a big OU fan. You all know, right? I'm a huge Tennessee Volunteer fan. I know I'm the only one in the room. But we decided to do a little wager, and so next week will be the fun week. The losing representative has to wear the other team's colors, which will be most painful for either one of us. But either way, the foundation benefits, and we'd like to do it as a way to raise awareness for human trafficking, the human trafficking epidemic. So that's fun. And I told Eric I was going to talk some stuff today about OU, but he's not here because he's attending a human trafficking conference in Norman, of all places. Wait a minute. I wonder if he told me a story about that. I don't know. But anyway, everybody watched the game this weekend, and obviously we'll be excited to see who wins, Tennessee, and more importantly, give money to the foundation. So thank you so much.
All for a good cause. Thank you so much. And we'll find out next week, too, so we'll be able to make that announcement, right? All right, very good. And speaking of football tickets, on your table you have the next auction item, so you can scan that with your phone and you can check it out. It's for the OSU game on Saturday, October 5th. If you were to pay for tickets right now, you would probably pay around $700 or $800 for these 2 tickets. That also includes parking for the day as well. So please look it up, please bid, and please support the Rotary Foundation of Tulsa. And finally, next week we will be playing the game Hot Seat. And to play the game, as a reminder, anyone who makes a donation to Sarge, also, if you make a monthly donation, you'll be eligible to play every Rotary game that we offer every month. So please fill that out, be generous, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarge. Are there any Utah Ute fans in the crowd? I'm happy to match the same bet you made. Utah Utes, anybody? All right, well, I'm open to it in the future, so. Special thanks to gold sponsors, We Be Trees, Tim Knowles, Max Electric Supply, Jack McGlumphy, Coldwell Banker Select, Sheree Gardner, OK Ethics, Mary Lytle, Silver Sponsors, Associated Mortgage Corporation, past President Chuck Wilson, Bank First, past President Paul Baumann and Bill Miller, Clear Ridge LLC, Matthew Bristow, Southern Millwork, Bill Vogel. Bronze sponsors, Argent Trust Oklahoma, Harvey Rowe and Kenny Brown, Claude Neon Federal Signs, James Adair, Gable Gottwalls, Jeff Hassel, Paul Rossler, and Adam Doverspike, Hall Estel, Tom Klenda, Daniel Ketchum. Thank you to all of our sponsors this week. Committee meetings. New member orientation will be in Parker Hall. For Club Foundation grants, DJ told me that today's meeting will be canceled, but she will be sending a flash drive that contains all of the applications, so be on the lookout for that. I usually like to close these meetings with a baseball quote, but today's theme is music. As I've mentioned before, my Sandlot baseball team is called the Tulsa Breeze. It's named after the J.J. Cale song, They Call Me the Breeze. J.J. Cale was a Tulsan, and he was one of the key figures of the Tulsa sound. He considered himself more of a songwriter than a performer. Call Me the Breeze was covered more famously by Leonard Skinner. Cale also wrote After Midnight and Cocaine, performed by Eric Clapton, and Louisiana Woman, performed by Waylon Jennings. Those are among several other of his very popular writing credits. I found a quote of his that I really liked, so I'm going to share it. He said, quote, "I stopped a lot of people who wanted to shove me into the real big time. Your ego wants to say, hey, I'm somebody, man. But I knew there were many days that I just wanted to be John Cale." J.J. Cale passed away in 2013. Thank you for joining our meeting today. We're adjourned.